Good day, everyone. Welcome to an update of the markets from Crypto Michael. And today we're going to do some requests as the market is not doing much or not so many specials right now. As we know, the breaker on Bitcoin is 15.5K or around that zone. If we break below 15.5K, all those bearish divergence and other confirmations will become confirmed, and a further corrective move is very likely for the markets to occur. So in that regard, I've chosen to do a small request video today, in which we're going to do 5 requests which have been given on Twitter. First one is VeChain, and the other ones are Ocean Protocol, which had some FUD and some hype in the previous months. Reserve Rights, DIA, and VIDT token. Before we continue, if you like my content, please subscribe to the channel and like beneath. Also check out my website where we trade along each other and where you can improve yourself as a trader, which is bonsankagroup.com. It's in the description down below. And there is a discount for the rest of the month if you want to join during November. First, VeChain. Everything had a very large move during the summer, and we can see that as well on VeChain. Massive move, vertical move got rejected, and the price started to drop down. So the overall trend has shifted from going upwards in a heavy notion towards a heavy downwards trend, in which we can actually see that the previous high at 110 sats, which is the range high, which is also the support area from previously in 2019. Let's make that a little bit greener. Was holding temporary for support, but what we can see on the daily time frame in general is that we've tested this area here, bounced back, dropped further down, probably have a lower time frame support area here where we bounced from, resistance zone, rejected, further down towards this previous high, which is now confirmed as support in this zone, back to this previous support zone of this range we had established in August, rejected, many tests of support, causing in a breakdown, immediate rejection of the previous support for resistance, which is in general all just lower lows and lower highs, and continuation downwards, as we can see, through which we can make a new or a few support levels. One it's bouncing on, and we've got the overall low, which is basically where we came from, which is if we lose around 60 Satoshi sets or 60 Satoshis, this area, I think we're going to just make a full retrace on VeChain before we start to continue. So what the trend is showing on VeChain is against the BTC pair, and it's more viable to watch the BTC pair, as there is no point in having VeChain. If VeChain goes up 10% in USDT value and Bitcoin goes up 20% in USDT value, there's no point in holding VeChain as you're losing BTC value. So that's the general point you should have if you're an altcoin trader. Trend is down. It's on a support zone, which is between 55 to 63 Satoshis. That's a possible entry trigger for a swing long. If we lose there, I think I'm going to look for longs around the 47 to 40 Satoshis area. In general, after such a corrective move, you can see it in the previous periods. After such a corrective move, what you want to see is some more sideways confirmation, in which we go from up, down towards sideways, acceleration sideways, compression sideways, MAs lining up above the price, and from there an impulsive breakout will most likely occur, and then the critical break is whether we break this resistance at 110, 102, 110. The most likely case is that if 60 holds or 40 holds, one of two, if in the case of 60 we're going to get a rally towards this resistance zone. So then we make this rally, come back down again, make the compression, and then we break out. Similarly to what we saw previously in the previous bottoming constructions. If we get towards 88, that's also a likely case. That would probably be a sell point, as that's constantly occurring in the previous period. But overall, I think we're getting quite close on VeChain in general. VeChain USDT, I've discussed this on higher time frame support. Has to hold here to avoid dropping back into this range. If we drop back in the range, I'm going to target the next level around 0.005 cents dollars. If we drop further down, but at this point, I think we're just consolidating for VeChain in general. There might be a case that VeChain BTC bounces up when BTC USDT corrects, and then we probably hold here. But overall, this is a scenario that I've made on Twitter, and we are following it. Then some coins that almost have identical charts with each other, through which we had reserve rights on the live stream previously. What we discussed here is that we got a higher time frame support area around 7,500, 7,000 to 7,500. We held there. That's great. But in order to change the overall momentum and to flip from bearish to bullish, we had to break this resistance zone we have here around 11,800. We reject, through which it is very likely that we're going to see a copy paste of the previous accumulation period, which is during March to June, and then we get some further downwards movement. So I'm going to target 5,800, potentially 75 again for long entries, through which we get a similar bottoming construction, and then the next impulse waves will most likely bring us towards the TPs we got here, and that will bring a 4 to 5x on reserve rights. Usually when you see such an impulsive move to the upside, the corrective period and the accumulation period take time. And in this case, the volatility and the volume, as you can see, are slowly draining away, through which we can anticipate such a corrective and sideways period for some time. So I'm standing behind the view that I have here, in which the best trick is obviously when we make a higher low. But if we reject or not break this area around 12,000, I think we're going to see the scenario here. If we do break 12,000, I think we're going to continue towards 70,000 and make a correction from there. Then I'm looking for the confirmation of that higher low after that still. But overall, this is just a scenario that I'm looking at. And when we discuss these tokens, there's another one, which is VIDT, showing a similar signal, right? What we saw is a heavy sideways consolidation period. Range breakout occurred later on. Breakout occurred here in June, which was the previous alt season, warranted an almost 10x move. And basically, since this big move, we have been testing previous levels. So in this acceleration, some levels were not tested. And you can see that based on that fact, we've got some bounces here. We got a bounce here, instant rejection of the area here. We dropped further down towards the support level here, did that, rejected this previous level, further downwards move, broke down, lost support, and now we are basically getting towards the area of the previous range support or range resistance, right? So we just have a full retrace. We are currently in the resistance zone, which is basically identical to the reserve rights chart. So if we reverse here, I'm anticipating a similar move to occur on VIDT, in which I'm going to target 2,000 to 1,500 for potential longs if you want to scale swing trade. And then I'm also going to target these areas for TPs on these longs. So it's just a similar view. If we break this resistance around 36 to 39, I think we're going to continue to 55. At this point, we're just not in an entry area for me. The entry is gone, as you can see, and I'm anticipating a further downwards move. Another one that's pretty much equal is Ocean. A little bit more strength, but a very impulsive move. Held support at this OB here, but we've got an untested area around 2,000 Satoshis. Potential rising wedge construction, in which we have been discussing this in the live stream, rejected at 44, dropped south to support, made a move up, rejected this level at 4,000, dropped south to confirm this support level at 3,000, had to break this 4K level, did not do that, rejected there. So if we get a move towards 37 max and reverse, I'm going to anticipate that we're going to test the lows here, and then we are also getting such a scenario, after which we're getting a complete retrace towards the area that I'm looking at for longs, which is around 2,000 sats. If we hold there, the next impulse wave will probably bring us towards 10k satoshis or whatever. But just a full retrace is very likely here, and this is going to look like a rising wedge construction unless Ocean breaks 4,000 satoshis. Then finally, DIA. Not looking too strong. As you can see, we're still trending down. So I do know that there's the potential, there's the airdrop coming up, which is in general just bringing some extra sell pressure in the near future. What you want to achieve is that this trend is going to reverse. So we still have lower lows, lower highs, right? And we reject level, we reject level, reject level, and we reject level. What you want to achieve is, and yes, there is a potential bullish divergence, but once it does this, this divergence will only continue to be building and you're down 50%. So what you want to achieve is that we get this and then reconfirmation of reclaim of previous support. At this point, as we are making lows below this previous support, this breaker around 900 satoshis for confirmation is a trigger towards 2000. So right now I'm looking at this 900 level. If we hold that, I assume we're going to make this rally. If we drop further down, and that's the most likely case with this downtrend, I'm going to look for a confirmation that I'm making here. So it's still trending down. If you're an investor, GCA is probably the best strategy as the valuation is relatively low. If you're a trader, I think you have to wait for more triggers to take this entry. If you've enjoyed this video with this TA content, definitely check out the website and please subscribe to the channel. And I wish you a wonderful, wonderful weekend.